Can a fitness event be more than just a race? You've probably heard about Hyrox. If not, by the end of this short podcast, you definitely will do. But Hyrox is a trending fitness race, which is definitely sort of gathering momentum across the globe, particularly in the UK. It started in 2017 in Hamburg and Germany, where the first event was held there. And it bills itself as the fitness competition for everyone. Now, Hyrox is a global fitness race that combines functional training with endurance. The race consists of 8 1-kilometre runs, each followed by a functional fitness station. Those stations are, in order, a 1-kilometre run, a 50-metre sled push, 50-metre sled pull, 80 metres of burpee broad jumps, 1-kilometre row, 200 metres farmer's carry, 100 metre sandbag lunges, and 100 wall balls to finish. Now that's the order. It always runs in that. So there's a 1-kilometre run followed by each of those stations. You go through all that, run across the finish line, and that gives you your time. Once you've got that, you can pitch it against anyone in the world through the Hyrox website. The data and the level of information that you get is amazing. So that's the format. In terms of categories, you can run it on your own as a single in either an open or a pro category. The main difference being that the pro category is about 50% heavier on everything that's weighted. You can do it in doubles, whether that's same-sex or mixed pairs. And you can also do it in a team relay, where the work is split between 4 members of a team, again, in either mixed or same-sex teams. Hyrox is global. New events are popping up everywhere across the globe. Every continent in the world, I think, has hosted at least one event now. And the UK is probably the strongest market. I saw a stat just on Instagram earlier today that said this last weekend there were events in Birmingham in the UK and also Madrid in Spain. And between those 2 events, there were 20,000 people that participated, which is absolutely massive growth compared to sort of where it was when the event started in the UK 2021-22 time. So, as I mentioned there, Birmingham, the NEC Exhibition Centre in Birmingham hosted the latest UK event this past weekend, the 25th to 27th of October. It was a massive event in one of the biggest venues the UK's seen so far. The setup was great. The run track, which goes around the perimeter of the exhibition centre, was set out in a way that was 2 laps, which made it a really great running course. Quite a large zone in the middle, but it was really well laid out. Lots of great area for spectators, which made for a great atmosphere and a really good event. I took part in the event, got the coveted finisher's patch twice. On Friday, I did something that I've been looking forward to doing for ages, and I ran a mixed doubles with my wife, Joanna. We did well. We got a time of just under an hour and 20. On the Saturday, I did it myself on the solo open category and just about straight under the sub 70-minute mark, which wasn't a PB for me, but I was happy with how the race went and learnt a few things that I can take away for future races. Now, I attended the event as part of a bigger group of people that went down from the gym where I train, one PT. And it struck me whilst I was at the event, like sort of seeing people turn up and do it for the first time or sort of come back as a returning athlete, just how much of an impact this event has on people. And it really got me thinking, like, we were there for the weekend and saw people go from sort of being nervous and apprehensive about doing it to pitching up at the start line, putting in a good effort and coming out the other side, almost transformed in the way that they acted, they behaved. It was like someone had come along and injected 100 times more belief and self-confidence into people. It wasn't just people that were there from my gym. It was other people you could see had just sort of outdone what they thought they were capable of. And I think I've done 13 events now for Hyrox, and this is something that has become a bit of a common theme in my observations at the events. And it led me just to think, is Hyrox more than just a fitness race? And I thought I'd stick this up on my Instagram stories and just do a quick poll to see what other people thought about it. At the time of recording this podcast, I think I had about 30 replies to the story, and the results were 80% and 20% split. Is Hyrox a gateway to personal development, or is it just a fitness race? Not surprisingly to me, a lot of people think it is a gateway to personal development. 80%, so like 24 out of the 30 people that had responded thought that Hyrox is a gateway to personal development, and it can unlock people's belief and potential that opens them up to development in other areas of life, which I completely agree with 100%. This is something I personally have experienced. My first Hyrox race was Manchester 2022. I'd just gotten into some better habits with fitness and was pitching up to the gym, working hard without any real focus. And then a friend put me on to Hyrox and said that him and a few people from his CrossFit box were going to be doing the event. And I jumped in with them, went for it, and it was amazing. Like, it gave me somewhere to channel my efforts with my training, gave me something to really focus on. And I turned up to that event very, very nervous, apprehensive. That didn't go away when I arrived. Like, walked into a building full of people that looked like they were out of Men's Health or like fitness magazines. Like, everyone seemed to be in perfect shape, chiseled abs, running around topless. It definitely felt a little bit out of place to start with. And that was before I saw the people taking on like the pro division as well, which was another level above that. But I took part. I got over what I thought was sort of going to be some difficult periods in that race where I didn't think I was going to be able to complete it. I'd never, ever felt anything in my legs like that first time I came off a sled push station trying to get running again. It was like someone had stuck a wooden stake through each of my quads. I just literally, the amount of pain in them was ridiculous, but you just got to keep moving. And it did disappear, and I got through that relatively unscathed after that point, although it was tough. But yeah, I mean, it definitely sort of ignited something. After I had time to reflect, it ignited something within me that gave me some more belief in myself, a bit of confidence. And I've built off that really through Hyrox, using it as a bit of a basis to focus my energy on with fitness. And I think that's the case for a lot of people, and certainly people that I know and speak to sort of on a regular basis, and people that I saw achieve some remarkable things over the weekend. Why? So if you're looking for something that might help kickstart some better habits in terms of fitness, how can you get involved with Hyrox to help you on this journey? First steps are to perhaps just check out the Hyrox website. There's loads of great information on there. There's a list of all the events. Difficult thing with the events is that it's getting so popular now that they sell out really quickly. If you can be a member of an affiliate gym, they do get access to tickets, I think 24 hours or 48 hours earlier than the general release to the public. So that does help. The Hyrox website's got a list of every affiliate gym on there. Yeah, if you can get involved with one of them, it's not only a great way to sort of try and get access to tickets a bit earlier, but they will give you access to proper training plans, coaches that know how to plan programming to help you get prepared for the event. A lot of people in those gyms will have done events before, so it gives you a little bit of an entry into the community aspect of it, which is such a big part of Hyrox as well. Once you've had a look at the website, you can have a look on like social media. Is full of people that are really good in terms of sharing information as to how to get better at things like this. There's some like great follows on there, whether it's just a Hyrox Instagram page. There's different podcasts, athletes that you can follow. If you just type in Hyrox, I mean, there'll be a wealth of information, and it's just a case of picking out the ones that you feel are either going to give you best value or most aligned to where you want to get to in terms of your own goals. So in terms of the event itself, like my experience is that like there's all sorts of different people that get involved with Hyrox as a race. It's not just an event for people that are coming to look to put down an amazing time and qualify for the World Championships, which Hyrox put on each year in a different location. there's a real wealth and mix of people that get involved. It is definitely a sport that is accessible to everyone. And I do agree that like the way that they pitch it as a fitness competition for everyone is definitely relevant. Some of the like people or groups that I've noticed turn up and attend at these events, you get like people that just literally want to come and do the event. They're on their own. They come, they turn up, they register half an hour before the race, drop the bag off at bag drop, do the race, come out, grab a drink, go back, get the bag, leave the venue, and that's them done. Quick in and out. The next group of people that I know that do this are like the athletes, and these are the ones that are dedicating training and effort and intensity towards this as an athletic pursuit with an end goal of qualifying for world championships or trying to win the event's place or podium. There's definitely an aspect of people that fall into that sort of pure athlete category. The next sort of big group of people that tend to attend these events are like community gyms, like I touched on before. Whenever you go in there, you'll see like groups of people, and they might have had either like t-shirts made up or in branded gym gear with their own like gym name on, and they're all down as a big group of say 20 to 50 people supporting everyone that's going through the race from their gym. And that's a great way to experience it because you've got that bit of familiarity. When you're down, you've got people to support you, you've got people to keep an eye on your stuff if you need to nip off, you've got people to go and get food with or drink. So that's a great way to experience it, and affiliate gyms are great for that. And as I mentioned before, you can find information on Hyrox's website as to where the nearest affiliate gym is to you. There's people that do the event for charity, like Macmillan Cancer are a charity partner of Hyrox. They offer a certain amount of spots to each race where you need to commit to make a certain amount of charitable donation. I think it's £400 per place. And they have like a standard and offer support as well. Similar to what you've probably seen at like marathons. That's a good space to get in and support if you can. Going back to that point about Hyrox being accessible to everyone, I noticed there was like accessible categories for athletes that are either have like injuries or that they can't compete in sort of the normal format. So it's like an adapted format, whereas like wheelchair athletes were taking part, and some of the adaptations meant like the wall ball target was sort of lowered, or they were pulling a sled with the wheelchair behind as opposed to sort of pushing it. So that's amazing as well, like really accessible. Hyrox go into a lot of effort to make it an event where people can get involved if they want to. They're not putting barriers or limitations on entry. There's definitely, like I mentioned, that athlete bracket of people. There's 100% as many people that are new to fitness as there is as competitive athletes. There's some people who come down and they are out there for perhaps like 2 to 3 hours completing the race, but they get it done. Like they take the time, they pace it at a level that's appropriate to their level of fitness, and they just battle through it and come out of it the other end. Like again, like if you compare it to marathons, there's people doing marathons at 2.5 hour pace, and there's people doing it at 6 hour plus. Like just because you're not at the same level of competitiveness or fitness doesn't mean that you can't come and enjoy the event. And every single event I've been to, there's been a real mix, like the whole spectrum of people on there competing. So if you're thinking about doing it and you put off a little bit by a perception of it being like really high functioning athletes, or everyone's there to set a personal best or a really good time, that is absolutely not the case. Some of the common things that I've seen when I've been either party to events or going down as a group is like every single person that does one of these races has some form of nerves. Social media is obviously an interesting place because you only get to see what people want to show you. But when you're down there, like it'll become like obvious that everybody's nervous. Everybody is taking it seriously in their own way. Like I believe everybody wants to get a great time. They want to do their absolute best. And that comes with it. That just naturally brings nerves with it because it's something that's important to you. I know a few people at the gym where I've been helping coach some of the group sessions are really worried about turning up and doing the event and whether they're going to be able to do it. And I think it's down to nerves really why they're feeling like that. And something that I've suggested to them to do is just sort of try and reframe that feeling of being nervous. Try and understand like why your body's feeling like that. You are doing an event which is important to you. You are going to have to put in a good effort. You're going to have to prepare yourself. You're going to have to work hard. Your body has natural ways of preparing itself for that. And that's to get adrenaline going, to get you alert. So a lot of those feelings of nervousness can be linked back to that. And it's just a natural way of your body preparing itself to go into battle for however long it is that you're out there. And if you weren't getting those feelings, then there'd be definitely something wrong. So try and reframe that feeling of being nervous if that is something that you're looking to do and are a bit worried about getting involved. The people that are really nervous of it, every single one of them's come out of it the other side almost like with a different, almost like a different person or with a different perspective. Lots of people can't believe that they've achieved a Hyrox or managed to complete it when they do. And it's crazy. Like, it's nothing that I've ever witnessed before, but it stays, that feeling seems to stay with them, and it unlocks progress in other areas of life. Like confidence has just been leveled up by 10 levels overnight. It's crazy. I can't quite put my finger on exactly what it is that does that, but there's something very special about a Hyrox event and getting it done, particularly when it's one of your first ones. I think it's just the way potentially that it's set up, like it makes everyone feel as though they're taking part in a professional athletic event, like the way it's set up with all the hoardings, the sponsorship, the MCing, the DJ, the music, the venue. It's all very slick. And the way it's delivered, I think, adds to that. But a big part of it is the personal achievement, and it's designed in a way, the workout, that is extremely challenging but doable at the same time. No matter what your level of fitness is, you're going to go through a really hard workout, and there's all the sort of positive emotions that come through getting through something like that. And when you layer in sort of potentially being supported by friends, members of your gym, even just random strangers that get involved and help people along, cheering each other on. Like the final station, the wall balls, they have what's called like a Thunderdome, which is essentially both sides of the wall balls have got like a 2-tiered scaffold viewing deck, essentially, I guess it is, where people line up and gather and support everyone as they're going through those 100 reps of wall balls before they do the last one, and then use whatever energy they've got left to run to the finish line and get across that finish line before the big scoreboard puts up their completion time. And it's just like a really intense atmosphere, which just gives everyone a bit of a lift for that final bit, exactly when they need it. I think my aim for today was just to come on and give a little bit of insight into whether or not Hyrox is just a fitness race or potentially a little bit more, like a gateway to personal development. My view especially is that it is an opportunity to go and put yourself in an environment where you're going to be tested, you're going to be challenged, you're going to have to work hard. There's going to be times when you doubt yourself. There's going to be an opportunity to overcome that self-doubt. And all this stuff is transferable skills into any aspect of life. I think if you're committing to a period of Hyrox training, which is properly programmed to include like strength work, running work, and Hyrox specific workouts, you're going to be putting yourself through times that are going to build some build resilience, develop character, build confidence in yourself, obviously get fitter. And if you bring in the aspect of sort of community and doing it with other people, a really good sense of community as well, which will help spur you on. I know a lot of people find it difficult to form consistency with a habit. Getting involved with community and a little bit more accountability to coaches and other members that you're doing it with is a great way to be more consistent. And the variants of Hyrox training, like I mentioned there, like strength, running, and Hyrox specific workouts, keeps it interesting. I think a lot of times when people drop off from a regular workout routine, it's because it becomes a little bit boring. Like everyone's been through those sort of 8-week hypertrophy programs where you're turning up and essentially doing a version of the same workout for 8 weeks, and it's just very repetitive, slow progress, difficult to recognize any sort of gains in that short space of time. Whereas Hyrox is very much like varied, and it gives you some good endorphins and positive feelings when you're coming out doing these hard workouts and surprising yourself or building fitness. So hopefully, if you've stayed till this long, you've found something interesting along this discussion. If you've never done a Hyrox before and you're curious about doing it, all I would say is just sign up for one at the next available opportunity that you have. If that gives you time to do a full sort of training program and work towards sort of getting a good time or going and experiencing it in having the benefit of a full program and preparation, then do that. If you're not quite ready to sign up and do the race itself, go along to one as a spectator. You can buy a spectator's ticket and go and have a look. Again, they're quite popular and do sell out, so make sure if it's something you want to do, you get organised and get one early. But I think anyone that puts himself in that environment come out of it thinking that it's something that they're able to do, something that they want to do, something to challenge themselves. I think anybody that walks into one of them environments will be able to see somebody competing that they can resonate with and liken themselves to. It's such a broad range of people on that spectrum of sort of fitness and demographic, age. You'll definitely be able to see someone who you think you're aligned with in terms of capability or experience, and take confidence from watching them do it that you can do it yourself. So I think I'm going to wrap up there. Hyrox is something that I'm really passionate about. If you have any questions about getting involved in one or the next steps to sort of look to improve your fitness, please drop a comment on wherever you're listening to this, or find me on social media and ask me something through there. I'll definitely be happy to help and point you in the right direction. If you're in the Rochdale area and you're looking to get involved with Hyrox training, check out PT and search them on Google. It's a Hyrox affiliated gym that have a really great program of mixed classes across strength, conditioning, and like a compete class where sort of teams pitch against each other to have a little bit of a battle on a weekly basis. Yeah, hope you've enjoyed listening to this. If you've got Hyrox coming up in the next few weeks, good luck and catch you all soon. In the meantime, please listen to any of the other episodes if you've not caught up with them from the Graft Concept Podcast collection. Wherever you're listening to this, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts or YouTube, please do like and subscribe. If you know someone that's into Hyrox or just getting into it and this might be useful for them, please share it with them. It's a great way for the podcast to grow, and thank you.